Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel yet again. The third video for today, you lucky people. So it's been a while since I've commentated on a replay, and I thought, you know what, this kind of replay is absolutely perfect to commentate on. So we're going to watch and we're going to see how this guy does. Daniel Messi driving this Sheridan, and we're going to talk about the battle. I'm going to spoil it because it is in the title anyway. The reason why he lost, why did he lose? Now, he has probably the battle of his life, and I doubt that he's ever done this kind of damage before, or very rare that anyone does this kind of damage. But there's still some mistakes. Even though he had a fantastic battle, he could have done just a little bit better. So he's on port bay and he's gone to the left side, which is perfect, which is what you should do, especially in a light tank. Now, there is only one other medium tank on the enemy team. So luckily for him, the enemy medium tank did not come this way. So he can hold this corner. Now, it all depends on where the enemy go and where his team go. If his team come this side, which most of them are, and they can hold and they can take the attention of the enemy, he could have an absolutely blinder of a game. As long as no one attacks him this side of the river, then he can just dominate. And if you do go this side of the map, you have to make sure someone attacks this corner, because if you don't, you're going to lose. You're going to lose 90% of the time. You have to attack this side of the map. Now, if the enemy have 3 mediums or light tanks or whatever, and your team only has 1, then I would probably suggest either go into the bay or getting a heavy tank over this side of the map, crossing the river to try and get rid of their mediums or light tanks. You have to play with whatever your team is. You know, it's easier said than done than saying go left or go right. It all depends on the enemy layout and where they go and what tanks they have. And of course, he knows that his team was losing that side of the map, so he did the right thing in just getting out of there early. He has lost a little bit of hit points, but he managed to get out of there, which is important. He didn't stay there, and if he would have stayed there, then of course he has all them heavies to try and deal with. So he got out of there whilst he can. So that was the correct move, and now he can just bully this E5. Already 3 minutes done, he's on 5.5k damage, so he's already done his part. Now they are losing just about. Well, now they're drawing. Now, what you need to be careful of when you're driving in Supremacy is, of course, the Supremacy points. Now, the enemy are now winning on Supremacy points. He's up to 6,000 damage, so he's already done a great amount of damage, but it is now a 3 versus 4. Fair enough, there is a couple of low hit point tanks, and a lot of these battles or a lot of these shots that he's having, he does rush, and sometimes you need to just, when you're in a tank like this that doesn't have great aim time, that doesn't have great dispersion, sometimes you just need to aim. Now, they are losing on Supremacy points, but not a massive gap. So right now, you probably wouldn't attack on a Supremacy base. You would just attack the enemy. Do what he's doing now. So right now, he is doing the right thing, going for the tank that he can get. He does get that shot into the IS-4, and now he backs up. So what he's going to do, he's going to get shot from the 121B, who is a one-shot, and then he is going to attack him, which again is the right move. He's going to try and clear the mobility, and he's going to try and clear the DPM, which is what you need to do. So that is the right move, clearing that guy. So now they are winning. It is a 3 versus 2, but there goes the E4. So he's now bringing it down to a 2 versus 2. Now, some of these shots I just don't understand. Now, that shot was a very troll, but again, at this late stage in the game, he could have just waited just a second more for that shot to go into the side of the turret and not on the tracks. Just 1 second which would it would have all, that's it. It would have just took 1 second. And because now he's got that second shot into that Jaegeru, he would have cleared that guy. So now, at this point in the game, would have been a 1 versus 1. Now he is going to clear the Jaegeru to bring it down to a 1 versus 1. Now at this late stage in the game, I would personally go, there's only 2 minutes left. They're losing on supremacy points. Go to C. You're right near C. Go to C. Go and try to take the C just to relieve that pressure. Just to relieve that pressure from... Now, this shot here, very, very troll. Very, very unlucky. And ultimately, that shot there possibly has just cost him the game. And that was none of his fault. But even so, without that, there is a few things that he could have done just to relieve the pressure. And again, he took his time. He didn't take his time with that shot. He could have potentially got that shot off. What he does here is the right move. He is now going to C, but the enemy is now capping base B. But even though the enemy is capping base B, that is a perfect opportunity for him to cap this base. But he decides, you know what? I know where that IS-4 is. I've got a minute left on the clock. I still need to shoot him twice to win. And he leaves that base. So now the enemy all of a sudden have 2 bases. And the time is running out because their points is going up double as quick as it was just a minute ago. So I think if he would have just stayed to catch that base, this could have been a different outcome. Now, with just 49 seconds left on the clock with the 2 bases, the enemy are now going to get to 1,000 supremacy points. So even though he's going to come out, he wants the kill, doesn't get the kill. I mean, he's only going to get 55 more damage anyway, so the damage wasn't nothing. And that's maybe why he didn't really care, because, I mean, 9.2k damage or 9.3k damage is a nice amount of damage. He wouldn't have got much more damage if he would have won. So, you know, he got the ace, he got the damage, but he could have had the victory. Just a few little things that he done wrong, and I still think obviously that base capture would have just bought him a little bit more time to get that damage that he needed. But I think that troll shot on the IS-4, the rear, that was the game changer in my opinion. But nevertheless, still a fantastic battle from Daniel there, and 9.3k damage you don't see often. And well played to the IS-4 there. I mean, it didn't look like he played really well, but 4.5k damage. He would have got the ace as well at 1,600, but I don't feel, watching that, I don't feel that he deserved that. It didn't look like he done much, but the damage is speaks for himself. The XP speaks for itself as well. And again, the IS-4 did the right thing in going for that base B. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye. With